The Complete Human Gymnasium Survival Kit. The book is an invitation to practice. Imagine that someone gave you a survival kit for the next 20 years. Not a box of food, not a collection of emergency tools, not a new piece of technology, a kit for something much more important, your own human capabilities. Because the world you are entering is changing faster than most people realize. Artificial intelligence is becoming better at remembering, calculating, writing, designing, translating, analyzing, creating, and solving problems. Robots are becoming more capable. Virtual worlds are becoming more realistic. Human communication is moving from screens toward immersive digital environments. Automation is changing jobs. Biotechnology is changing what we can know and influence about the human body. Information is becoming almost unlimited. Technology is becoming increasingly powerful. And this creates a strange question. If machines become better at many things we used to do, what becomes more important about being human? That question is one of the reasons this book exists. Why this book exists? The Complete Human Gymnasium Survival Kit was created from a simple observation. Human beings have enormous capabilities, but most of us do not systematically train them. We train for school, we train for work, we train for sports, we train for specific professions. But where is the gymnasium for the complete human being? Where do we systematically train attention? Where do we practice emotional navigation? Where do we develop creativity? Where do we strengthen relationships? Where do we train our capacity to make decisions? Where do we practice resilience? Where do we develop our ability to adapt? Where do we learn to transform experience into capability? And perhaps most importantly, where do we learn to turn our human capabilities into something valuable that can contribute to our lives, our communities, and our economy? This book is an answer to that question. It is a portable human development laboratory. You do not need a special building. You do not need expensive equipment. You do not need to wait for someone to teach you. You can begin with one practice, 20 minutes, 3 days, then one day to integrate what you discovered, and then you repeat. What is inside the book? The book contains 52 human development practices. They are organized as a progressive journey. You begin by discovering your existing human value. Then you learn to identify and develop your capabilities. You train different human faculties. You explore patterns of presence, perception, creativity, relationships, direction, transformation, and coherence. You learn to think about attention, trust, regeneration, contribution, and human assets. You explore ancestral ideas and human development traditions. And finally, you reach a series of advanced integration practices. The purpose is not to collect knowledge. The purpose is to turn knowledge into experience, experience into practice, practice into capability, and capability into value. That distinction is extremely important. You can read about swimming forever. You still cannot swim until you enter the water. The same is true for human development. The 3 gains. If you complete this book properly, there are 3 major gains. Gain 1. You know yourself better. You begin to recognize capacities that were already inside your experience, your attention, your creativity, your physical intelligence, your emotional intelligence, your ability to relate, your ability to make decisions, your ability to learn, your ability to adapt, your accumulated experience. You begin to see yourself not only as a person with a history, but as a person with a portfolio of capabilities. That changes the way you see yourself. Gain 2. You become more capable. Recognition is only the beginning. The practices give you a way to train. You begin to notice what happens when you repeat an action. You discover where you are strong. You discover where you are weak. You discover where you have been relying too much on technology, habits, other people, or automatic behavior. And gradually, you develop greater capacity. Not because someone told you that you changed, because you experience the difference yourself. Gain 3. You learn to create human assets. This may be the most important economic idea in the book. A capability becomes valuable when you can apply it. Your experience can become knowledge. Your knowledge can become capability. Your capability can solve a problem. Solving problems can create contribution. Contribution can become a service. A service can become an enterprise. An enterprise can become an asset. This creates a different way of thinking about human development. You are not simply improving yourself. You are cultivating human assets. Assets that can improve your life and potentially create value for other people. This is the beginning of what we call the human economy. What happens when you practice? The benefits appear at different speeds. In the short term, you may notice greater awareness. You may notice patterns in your behavior. You may become more conscious of your attention. You may discover capacities you were ignoring. You may experience small improvements in how you respond to everyday situations. Most importantly, you begin to experience yourself as someone who can practice. That is powerful. Because once you understand that a capability can be trained, you stop assuming that your current level is permanent. In the medium term, repeated practice can change how you approach problems. You become better at recognizing opportunities for development inside ordinary life. A difficult conversation becomes relationship training. A business problem becomes systems thinking training. A failure becomes resilience training. A creative block becomes creativity training. A decision becomes orientation training. A moment of uncertainty becomes consciousness training. Your life itself begins to become a training environment. In the long term, the deeper possibility is transformation of identity. You stop thinking, I'm trying to become better, and begin thinking, I am a person who practices. That changes everything. Because a person who practices can continue developing. And a person who continues developing can continue contributing. Your capabilities accumulate, your experience accumulates, your knowledge accumulates, your relationships accumulate, your ability to create value accumulates. You begin building something that cannot simply be downloaded from a machine, your developed human capacity. Why now? Why should you do this now? Because we are entering a period in which human capability will become both more important and more difficult to maintain. Artificial intelligence will increasingly handle information. Machines will increasingly perform physical tasks. Algorithms will increasingly recommend what we watch, buy, read, think about, and perhaps even what we should do next. That creates enormous opportunities. But it also creates a danger. If technology performs too many cognitive and physical functions for us, we may stop practicing some of our own capabilities. We could become more technologically powerful while becoming less personally capable. That is the paradox. The more powerful our tools become, the more deliberately we may need to develop the human being using them. The next 20 years will not simply be an AI revolution. They may become a revolution in the relationship between humans and their own capabilities. And you have a choice about how you enter that future. You can simply consume technology, or you can develop the human being who uses it. What are you missing if you don't? The cost is not simply the price of a book. The real cost is opportunity. Every year that passes without developing your capabilities is a year of accumulated experience that may remain underused. You may have knowledge that never becomes a skill. You may have experience that never becomes transferable. You may have creativity that remains dormant. You may have relationships that never become meaningful collaboration. You may have talents that never become contributions. You may have ideas that never become projects. You may have years of life that are experienced but not consciously converted into learning. And there is another cost: dependence. Dependence on technology to think. Dependence on algorithms to choose. Dependence on entertainment to regulate attention. Dependence on external motivation to act. Dependence on other people to create structure for your development. The goal of this book is not to reject technology. Quite the opposite. The goal is to help you become capable enough to use powerful technology without giving away your own human agency. This is not a book to finish. There is an important secret about this book. You should not rush through it. You can read it from beginning to end. But the real value begins when you stop reading and start practicing. Choose a practice. Give it 20 minutes. Do it for 3 days. Use the 4th day to integrate. Write down what happened, then continue. You may discover that one practice is enough for a week. Another may become something you repeat for months. Some practices may become part of your daily life. Some may become useful only in specific situations. That is exactly how a gymnasium works. You do not perform every exercise every day. You choose what your body needs. The same principle applies to the complete human being, from practitioner to contributor. And there is another possibility. You may discover that practicing alone is only the beginning. When you practice with another person, something changes. You receive feedback. You become accountable. You see yourself through another person's perspective. You discover possibilities that you might not have discovered alone. You experience collective momentum. This is why the Complete Human Gymnasium is not only a book, it is also a community of practice. The book gives you the instruments. The community gives you an environment in which those instruments can be practiced repeatedly. And eventually, you may discover an even larger journey. You can become a practitioner, then a contributor, then a co-facilitator, then a licensed practitioner, then an entrepreneur creating your own human development services. And, for those who want to build at a larger scale, eventually a franchise partner or investor. The journey can become practice, mastery, contribution, service, entrepreneurship, ownership, investment. Your development can become your contribution can become a service, your service can become an enterprise, your enterprise can become an asset. This is where personal development and the human economy meet. The bigger idea. The Complete Human Gymnasium is based on a simple belief. Human development should become a lifelong practice. Not something you do only when you have a problem. Not something you do only when you are young. Not something you do only after something goes wrong, but something you practice throughout your life. Because the world will continue changing. Your circumstances will change. Technology will change. Your work will change. Your relationships will change. Your body will change. Your responsibilities will change. Your opportunities will change. The question is not whether change will happen. The question is, will you continue developing the capabilities required to meet it? Your survival kit. You now have a choice. You can close this lesson and continue with your day, or you can take the next step. Open the book. Choose one practice. Set 20 minutes aside. Do not try to become a completely different person. Just become 1% more capable. Then do it again, and again. And eventually, you may discover something extraordinary. Your life was already full of training opportunities. You simply needed to learn how to recognize them. That is what the Complete Human Gymnasium Survival Kit is designed to help you do. It is not designed to give you a perfect life. It is designed to help you become more capable of living the life you have and the life that is coming. And remember, reading can give you understanding. Practice gives you capability. Community gives you an environment for growth. So read the Complete Human Gymnasium Survival Kit. Practice it as well as you can by yourself. Then, when you are ready to go further, join the Complete Human Gymnasium community of practice, because the book can start your journey, but practice is what transforms you. And practicing together can transform the possibilities of what you can become.